So I will be talking about the significance of the prophetic developments concerning Israel for today's update, but I do think I'd be grossly remiss were I not to make this plea, specifically this plea of the paramount importance of praying for and reaching out to the lost, which is what's lost in all of this. I know I mentioned this last week, but again, if you'll just hear me out, the fast-moving propaganda news cycle, and I say it that way for a reason, the fast-moving propaganda news cycle of our day is such that the lost are lost in all of it. I'll explain what I mean more specifically, and it has to do with the death toll numbers, the reports of the death toll numbers. They're not just numbers. They're souls that Jesus died for. They're mothers, fathers, sons, daughters, brothers, sisters, aunties, and uncles, for whom many are deeply grieving. And here's the thing, and I appreciate your patience with me, whether it's Maui or Israel, Jew or Arab, or anywhere and anyone in between. This is the Great Commission, by the way. We must get Jesus to as many people as we can and get people to Jesus as fast as we can while there's still time, because there is little time left. And the time is at hand. And I want to include myself when I say this, lastly, that innate within our sin nature is this propensity that all of us possess to simply look at what's happening in the world today, which, by the way, is happening in the world today because this is the end of the world today. I mean, not today. Well, it could be. But we all possess this propensity, this proclivity, if you prefer, when it comes to what's happening in the world today, because we just look at it as the Jew versus the so-called Palestinian, or Hamas. When I say I include myself in this, it's an exhortation for me as a pastor, because, and especially a prophecy teacher, because I think we do err greatly when it's an us against them dynamic. It's a kill them, crush them. Maybe allow for the Holy Spirit to search all of our hearts again, mine, especially in this regard. This is what it means, and as it was said of David, he had a heart after God's own heart. In other words, the things that broke the heart of God broke his heart. And I just wonder, do we have God's heart on this? On everything that's happening? And I got to be careful on my end, because I go there, so I'm like, well, this is because of this, and I get down to the bottom of it. Upon closer examination and further investigation, I have, the documentation, and I go and then stop. These are people that need Jesus. And as an Arab myself, these Arabs, so-called Palestinians, labeled what we know today as Hamas, these are Arab people that are deceived. And yet we've got Christians and no less Bible teachers calling them animals. Well, what they're doing is unthinkable. It is evil through and through. It is demonic without question. But these are Arab people that Jesus died for. Wow, Pastor, I thought you stood with Israel. Well, if you don't think I stand with Israel, you don't know me. But God knows me, and God knows my heart. I love Israel because I love the God of Israel. And I love the Jewish people. But I love the Arab people too. They're not animals, they're souls. And by the way, maybe we're all going to be shocked when that trumpet sounds and we're raptured. What do you mean? Well, some of these animals called Hamas, how do you know that they're not going to come to a saving knowledge of Jesus Christ? They're going to be with us in heaven.